try to understand this process step by step, guys, because it is basically a remote desktop related, but it is one by one points will be added. So understand the points and also try to connect with me. Okay, means two-way interaction. So then only you can easily understand. Okay, what is the point of explaining this? Also, you will understand. There is a lot of things will be added here. That's why the topic is very important. The painting is also mine only. Okay. See, guys, you have a server or a machine, some computer, desktop, laptop, or a server OS, Windows OS, or Linux OS. Usually server, you know. So we can tell these stories in different ways, but we'll tell. Look at here. Just for example, in a very low level, this is not a very high level also, it is very low level, we will discuss. For example, my physical RAM is 12 GB. Some of you having a 4 GB RAM, right? Some are one or maybe having a 2 GB RAM, 6 GB RAM, like that, it's 4 GB RAM, right? So you want to see how to work with particular application. So I've shown vSphere, right? So for fewer of my previous batches, I told them if you want, you can access because you can't install in your physical PC. I told them I will give you a control so then you can able to access it. You can access my computer desktop, like this desktop environment. If you can able to access, understand guys, if you can able to access my desktop, maybe through this application. So here it is, you can access, you can request for a control. So I can give you a control also. Okay, so somewhere option will be there. Okay, so giving control kind of stuff. For user wise also, you can see spot for everyone. No. There is option is there actually. I'm presenting now, so maybe because of that one, or actually control option also there, so it is not showing here directly. Okay, maybe. So for example, I shared my desktop. You are able to access my desktop, so you can control my desktop. So what if you want to do something in my system, you can able to do it, right? So you want to create a virtual machine. You cannot create in your machine. You can create in my machine. Remote access like any desk. We see in any desk. Teams, Google Meeting access is not there, but normally I'm telling remote desktops. If I connected to public IP address, then direct remote desktop feature is there. Okay. Teams, any desk. Teams is team viewer. Microsoft Teams is different. Team viewer. Skype. Log me in. Okay, like a lot of desktop presentations, remote desktop control software, VNC desktop kind of stuff. Real VNC is also there. So point is, I need to do some work, but my desktop is not supporting. For example, you want to do VMware vSphere practical. Your infrastructure not supported because its required minimum RAM is 4 GB, so you cannot run. So what you will do? You can connect it to my desktop, do the work, complete it, and close it once it is completed. Understand this point, guys? Very simple. Things you cannot able to run, do in your desktop, if you got a chance to access other system which having a enough of infrastructure like a very good RAM, like a 16 GB RAM, or maybe mine is 12 GB RAM, I said no. So 12 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, or maybe 24 GB RAM, or maybe 32 GB RAM, or 48 GB RAM. Okay. Enough of good infrastructure, network connectivity, access. Either it is desktop access or just SSH access, Linux, right? So if you want to practice something, you want to run an application, I have a Linux PC. So it is not direct Linux PC. Somewhere in my network, Linux PC is there. Through SSH, I can connect it and I can install applications. For example, I want to practice Docker, like a Git I can install like that. So Docker I can install DevOps related tools like a Git, Docker, what we can say, Docker Hub, Jenkins, Maven, okay, Ansible, sure, Puppet. These kind of stuff I can install as a requirement into the remote machine. I can access from my local PC. Guys, understand this concept. Things you cannot do or you are unable to do in your physical machine. Okay, in your machine, you can do it in a remote machine. Guys, understand this point.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is my first point. The second point, how to access remotely. Remote access protocol. Okay, universal, it is like a Windows RDP, remote desktop protocol 3389. SSH, what is SSH? Secure shell, port number 22. Telnet, remote access. Okay, now PowerShell is also coming into this market. Okay, VNC, remote desktop sharing application. Tiger VNC, real VNC, like the different type of VNCs are there. Okay, so we can access whatever it is either by terminal or by desktop, like that. Okay, so this is the second point. So third point, we are discussing about a Windows only. Okay, Windows means it is a RDP wise only. We started discussing from now onwards. Just look at here. This is my PC or my server. Okay, this is my PCA. It's just a simple computer. It contains good infrastructure. It is running with some applications. Application 1, application 2, like some applications, I don't know, for example, MS Office, for example, VMware Workstation, or maybe Oracle VM VirtualBox, maybe something like some designing software, application development related software, or maybe remote connecting database related software. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I want these applications. I want to access this entire desktop. So for accessing these desktop machines from my PC, I'm talking in a Windows manner, guys. Completely, this is Windows manner only. Okay, this is my Windows PC. Okay, so this is my Windows machine. Either it is Windows Server or a Windows client system. So it contains an application. I want to access application from my computer. So connect these things with simple remote desktop protocol. Remote desktop give the IP address of PCA, and I can see what is PCA kind of stuff from my PC. Okay, I can't show you because I have to open another virtual machine for you. Okay, so then I can show, but normally, okay, MS TCS, very good. Microsoft Terminal Server Connection, TSC. So this is a remote desktop connection. Give the IP address of your remote server, remote PC, PCA IP address, username, click connect. It will ask for a password. Use the password, click yes. Then you can able to view this desktop from here. Okay. Okay. To access, this is for accessing purpose. Okay. Guys, understand this step? Normal remote desktop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I have a more machines are there. Think like this, guys. You want to buy a computer, you have to invest money, right? You want to buy a computer, you have to invest money. So how much money you have to invest? Like a processor cost, RAM cost, storage cost, power supply, cabinets, connecting like a keyboard, mouse, monitor kind of stuff, right? So when you want a computer, okay, so you want to access this, sorry, you want to build a computer, it is more about a cost effective. Now you want to run a specific application which is heavy application, you want to access or you want to install and run, you need a more infrastructure, right? You want to run some application like a SolidWorks, maybe Katia, maybe some Photoshop kind of application. Okay, nowadays these applications are running. Earlier days, infrastructure related challenges. Why? Because nowadays we are having 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM kind of stuff. Earlier days it's not like that. Okay, so thing is, your PC is not supporting that point. Your PC is not having more infrastructure support. Okay, your PC is not having more infrastructure support. Okay, so what they wanted, they want to run these applications. What they have to do, they want to run these applications from here and here and here. What they have to do, anyone? What they want to do, how they will get it, guys? Okay. What they will connect it to PCA, access PCA desktop, access a PCA desktop. So on the desktop, the applications are there, so they can use it. So for example, this user required app 1 only, this required app 2 only, this required app 1 and 2 also, app 1 and 2 also required. So what you will do, connected to remote desktop, PCA, and access the desktop environment like this, access the entire desktop environment, open the application and start working with it. So that is a simple part, right? But there is a problem. What is the problem? Microsoft Windows is not a multi-user support. Okay, so look at here. It is a single user multitasking. It's a single user multitask type. Means only single user only. Thing is, look at here. One user. For example, here user is login. Username is, for example, who logged in here. So I will use their names only. Yeah, I use a user Sudhir. Okay, this PC username is Sudhir. Easy name I put it. Small name, then it is okay. So username of this computer is Tanu. Okay, so I have to log into that one. Compulsory Tanu only. Now, when I log in here, it log out from here. Okay, when I log in to C1, when I log in from C1, when I log in from C1 through remote desktop, it will be log out in a PCA. It will be log out from a PCA. Look at here. So when I log in C1, log out from PCA, it will be log out. So one user, okay, it is like a it is one user, one system type, one PC or one desktop. One user, one desktop. Okay. This is very simple. One user at a time can able to log in any desktop. For example, if you have a multiple users, I have a user Tanu is there, Sudhir is there, Pragati is also there. So 3 users I created in a PCA. I log in with Tanu, right? So Tanu is log out from here. So can I log in with Sudhir here? We cannot. We cannot. Okay. So that is another problem. So at a time, only one user can log in. Okay. Either directly or indirectly. Means remotely or directly. You can log in like that only. So remember that point. Here it is. At a time, one user can log in. One user, one desktop model it is. Meaning is either you log in from your desktop or you are logging from remote desktop. Whatever it is, only one user, one desktop model only. So now I have a 4 computers. 4 computers want to access PCA. How can they access? As per this, only one place you can log in with a one user at a time. So I log in with Tanu here, but I cannot log in with here Sudhir. I cannot log in here Pragati. Okay, because already Tanu is logged in. That's it. Either your direct desktop or a remote desktop. Anybody will tell any solution? So what is the problem in this one? It is again one user, one license. One user, one license kind of stuff. One user, one license. Okay. No one is talking again. One user, one license. If you have one license for one user, one license for one user, one license for one user. People, guys, I have already in my own tensions. One license for one user. For user license, this is called a for user license. Okay, so if I take for user license, means one user either on direct desktop or remote desktop, only that user, one single user can able to access. Either first user or a second user or third user, but only one user can log into PC either directly or through remotely. Only one user can able to access. That is the Microsoft condition. Unlike our Linux, in Linux, one Linux server, multiple users can able to connect through SSH and they can access without taking any licenses. Guys, understand this point. One user, one license, one desktop, at a time one user login.
Yes, sir.
Now I have a 4 computers want to access PCA. Want to access only one desktop, that is PCA. Now what will happen? Okay, so here it is. Look at simple point. If I log in with a Tanu, automatically Tanu will be logged out. Tanu will be logged out here. Now, if I log in to C2 with Tanu, what happened? It logged out from here. It no login here, no login here. It log out, log in here. Again, you try here. So it will log out from previous desktops and it log in here. It means at a time one user can able to do it. Now what I have to do? If okay, black, more users has to access single PC or a desktop. So I put a desktop, that's it. Okay, desktop is represent a computer. Exactly say desktop represent, this is the desktop. Complete computer. No, do not think like it is a server or a normal desktop kind of stuff, guys. A computer is a server or maybe a normal computer, whatever it is. If more users has to access single desktop, then you have to buy license bundle from Microsoft. I told now we are all talking in the Microsoft Windows manners only. Okay, so you have to buy license bundle. For example, I have a 10 users are there, so I buy 10 licenses. So do not think again 10 licenses. Do not think again. So 10 licenses meaning is not 10. 10 users, 10 licenses. 10 users, 10 licenses. Okay, so again mind, yeah, 10 users want to access. You need a 10 licenses. You have to go to Microsoft, buy 10 licenses, insert the 10 licenses here. So what you have to do? Insert and licenses. That's configuration is different. So do not think. Okay, so insert a 10 license. Think like 10 licenses. So per user, like I created a user 1, user 2, all are remote desktop users. I said user 3, user 4, like this, user 5, user 6, user 7, user 8, like this. I will create it. 10 licenses, I will put it. 10 users, I will log in. Now what I am trying to do is, I log in here like a user 1. Okay, now user 1 desktop, authenticated, user 1 got authenticated, I got a desktop. Okay, now user 2 login, user 2 login from here, I got a PCA desktop here. Again, user 3 login here, user 4 login here. It's a user names, so we can able to log in. So because of I have a multiple user, 10 licenses I have taken. I put a 10 licenses to my remote desktop users license. Okay, there is a group called remote desktop users. Then give it to them. You have to configure it through remote desktop server or directly on the physical machine also possible. So insert a desktop, and I have to add remote desktop users group. You have to add a multiple users there, or 10 users you have to add it. Okay, so you can go to normal desktops, connect to remote desktop part. Okay, give the IP address of PCA or PCA name. Username is users you specified in the remote desktop users, and put the username and password. You'll get connected. It means 10 computers can able to access at a time same desktop of PCA desktop, so they can able to access PCA. Guys, understand remote desktop kind of concept?
Yes,
10
sir.
user concept. Okay. So totally 8 members are there. So why people are absent also afternoon? We don't know. No one will teach you these things. So that's the point. I don't know how many people know these things nowadays. Okay, so the Citrix I said, no, Citrix. Citrix is also very old organization. It is actually Citrix desktop, remote desktop management is there, remote desktop kind of stuff. So what they will do, Citrix, you have to log into the Citrix server. You have to log into, there is username, password. You have to log into Citrix server. The Citrix server verify your user authentication, okay, and give you desktop. Remaining entire environment is Windows environment, remote Windows desktop only it is. But Citrix is like that. So you have to log into Citrix server with username and password. So you verify username and password and share the Windows desktop. That is one more. This point is also there. Citrix desktop kind of stuff. Okay, remote desktop. Windows server also there in a Windows server remote desktop services. That is also like you want to log in. So then obviously it will verify your user authentication and okay with the remote desktop. You are a member of user remote desktop users, so you are allowed to access. I think people understand or not? No, no, no. So no problem, guys. Look at here. If multiple users want to access same desktop, what you have to do? You purchase those many licenses and tell these are the remote desktop users to the PCA, and so from normal computers we can connect it to our central PCA. We can access the desktop. And also you can access the applications. You can able to access the applications. You know, why I type MSTCS? Why I type this MSTSC? What is MSTSC? MS means Microsoft. TSC, Terminal server connection, terminal server connection. It opens remote desktop. It open the remote desktop part. Terminal server, last time I showed 2003 server. That time one of the service is terminal server. The terminal server is there at a 2003 and 2008 also. Later it is changed as a remote desktop service. Okay, very simple. Open the remote desktop connection. Put the IP address of PCA, username you have to insert. Click connect. It asks for a password. Give the password. Will get connected, and you can able to see the desktop screen. Next, if you want to put what size of the remote desktop should be there, full screen mode, off screen mode, colors, full HD, off HD kind of stuff. Okay, background things and all. You want to control desktop connected printers, scanners kind of stuff. Also you want to connect. You want to connect with their audio, video kind of stuff. Okay, other experiences and advanced. This is server authentication. Connect from anywhere kind of stuff is there. You want to save the settings, you can able to save it. So this is about your remote desktop with a multiple user connection. Point understand guys or not?
Yes, sir. Understand.
Very good. Okay. Small thing. This is like a guys, one by one point is adding. Means this is like a B, C completed. Again D, A, B, C, D. Again E, A, B, C, D, E. Again C. Like it will be added. So compulsory layer by layer you should understand. Meaning is you should tell understand, not understand or repeat or anything you link missing. I can tell complete story without asking you anything. But you never understand anything, not even a single 1% also you don't understand. Even though you said understand also you don't understand. That's why I keep telling. I'm pausing for each and every bit. Okay. As I said guys earlier, a normal computer cost. Okay, normal computer. I'm not going with this. If you click on here, so desktop tower PCs, it is a 58,000 rupees around because it's having a 16 GB RAM, quad core Xeon processor, 1 terabyte of hard disk. It's a costly. What about this one? This is AMD Ryzen 5. Okay, 8 GB RAM, 1 terabyte. It is 36,000 only. Go for desktops models just for understanding. This is Lenovo desktop or any basic desktops, also gaming desktop. Now normal tower PCs desktops, normally computers. Yeah, it given so much of nonsense along with details. So our thing won't, we can't able to see properly. So it is. I selected a desktop, except desktop, everything is showing. Then why he given a option for that one? So that's a trick. So again, it is come to next step. So nothing is there. So I've selected this one. These are the tower pieces. Renewed. Renewed means it is not this one. This is 1,25,000. I'm not talking about that one. Normal computers, normal first-hand computers. The regular computers, the cost is around 30,000. 27 starting price. 25, 24, 27, 30, 40, 50, 60, and series of application you are running. Okay, so based on your requirement, basic to advanced computers, basic computer is the cost is around 25,000. Only the box means cabinet, not monitor. Monitor cost extra. Keyboard, mouse cost extra. Only I'm talking in the cabinet manner. Okay, So the low level computer itself very cost part is there. So what we can able to do, nothing we can able to do it. Okay. So point is, guys, cost of a computer not in our hands, so that is depends upon requirement. Second, anyway you are using an application from remote machine, you are not installing application, this application not suitable for your PC. So what you will do, instead of increasing your infrastructure, 30,000 desktop not enough, 30,000 computer not enough, so I have to go for 50,000, okay, to run the application. And there is certain other problems also be there, but so normally I'm not talking much complex, I'm talking very simple. To run simple application, I need to buy a 50,000 computer, okay, or maybe 30,000 computer. Even 30 is also cost. For a single person, no problem. For think about enterprise, 100 computers are required, 30,000 each computer, each box, and there is 100 computers are required. Problem. So like that, we have a easiest way of solution. It's a very oldest solution that is called a thin clients, like this. This is mini computers. Mini computers are not thin clients. These are a mini computers I want to show you. This is thin client. Look at here. This is a small thin client box. It is showing like a mini PC. It is also having some connections, LAN connection, your VGA connection, your USB connection, your audio connector, power connection. This is power connection, power on switch, like this. Okay. So this is an computing model. It is contains a very basic hardware components. Okay. It contains a basic hardware configurations and all. This is showing a 9,000, but I am going to very less cost. See. So what is the cost of this one? This is also having monitor connection, USB for keyboard and mouse, LAN connection for network, audio speakers and mic connection, and it is a power connection. So it is very simply you can mount on your board. See, it is look like this. So this is the details. You can see processor A20 dual core 1.2 gigahertz, very small processor, 512 MB RAM, very small. Storage is also 4 GB. But protocol connection is RDP 7.1, 8.1, and XRDP. OS support Linux and Unix. Okay, HDMI cable is also there. It is showing like HDMI is also there, and VGA cable is also there. Depends upon your monitor. Anyway, you can connect it. Okay, network connection is also there. Audio jack and speaker jack, power connection, 2 years warranty. So where we can use for a school and institute, training centers and business centers. What is the cost of this one? Is 3,200. Where the 30,000? Where the 3,000? Okay, like this. So what is this configuration? See, virtual desktop infrastructure architecture. Look at this virtual desktop infrastructure. Virtual desktop infrastructure architecture. So this is the main host PC, the bottom one. So 1 second, guys, I will minimize this one. This is the VDI, is a main host computer. These are all small are normal computers. So look at here. Instead of purchasing 30,000, 40,000, i3, i5 kind of computers, I purchase a thin clients. Guys, remember thin clients. Okay, thin clients. What is a thin client? Thin client is a very basic computing device. It contains processor, RAM, and storage, network connection. Again, I didn't write anything on the thing. thin clients or any or very basic computers, not even a level of personal computers. Okay, it is very low level CPU, RAM, storage. It has a network connection, monitor, keyboard, mouse, connection available. This is the thin client. Okay. It is not to run our OS, regular operating system or heavy operating system, applications, not to run application. Okay. So than PC is cheaper than PC. So what it will do, guys, what we need here in this diagram, we should able to connect remote desktop or right, we should able to connect a remote desktop, so we can able to access remote desktop or like a PCA, so then we can able to work with it. So the point is, I need something, a computer kind of stuff, to connect my monitor to keyboard and mouse. I want to connect my monitor, keyboard, mouse, and I need a small interface. So then I can connect through network. My PCA. That means my centralized computer I want to access. How to access? Using remote desktop protocol, right? MSTSC. I want to connect it. I'm not required anything to do in my local PC. I have a local PC. My laptop is 12 GB RAM, i5 processor, third generation, and I have a something space is there. So I have a heavy equipment, so then I can run very big things. Okay. For example, I do nothing. Just I want to check my emails. Except that one, I don't do it. Just to show business, or I want to watch a movie. Then, am I required to buy a very good infrastructure laptop? I don't play games. Just open a browser, open a Netflix. Okay, just 2 weeks back only, my sister asked me, so I want to buy a laptop. At least Google Chrome is better. Okay, so it just comes around 20 to 20,000, 22,000 like that. I said, why are you buying it? So take my tablet. It is around 17,000, 18,000. Already I purchased it, but I'm not using. Take my tablet. Okay, the investment that is also cleared. Amount is cleared also. Take my tablet. If you want, you can add any other things. Take my tablet, because of Google Chrome and my tablet, not much difference, because you invest 22,000, you'll get a 11 inches or a 14 inches screen. Maximum 11 inch only you will get it. This is 10.3 inches. You put a 22,000, you got 11 inches. Mine is 10.3. So what is the difference? Okay, it is a Google. This is also Google. Android. Okay, Google interface. Okay, Realme interface. Anyway, same thing only, right? So you can use emails communication, you can type, compose the mails, you can do it. So this is, guys, depends upon our requirement. We increase or decrease the infrastructure. I want to buy a laptop. I will usually play games. Okay, game playing, and another one is virtual machines. These two things important for me. Virtual machines and games. So I need a graphic card, minimum graphic card is required, and RAM, big RAM is also required. So what I've done, okay, add a thing like this. So depends upon infrastructure. But what is our duty here? What is our duty? Access this PCA, access their applications. Why we are accessing PCA? We are accessing their applications. We use that application. The resultant of application data we store here only. We don't need to store in your local PC. I'm accessing PCA. I use PCA application, and the generated data I will store in PCA only. You don't require to store in your local PC. So these thin clients is better because you don't require, nothing is running in your PC. Only remote desktop protocol is running. Nothing is running, right? You are not running any application. You are not running any services. You are not utilizing internet or anything. You are not doing anything in your PC except remote desktop. So you don't require more hardware, more RAM capacity, more storage also. And moreover, you don't store any data in your local PC, right? So what I have done, I changed my computer to thin client. So I purchased a certain thin client and I connected this desktop through the thin client. Okay, I connected to my desktop through the thin client. Guys, understand this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So there is a small question is there. That's why I'm waiting. The question is, why should I access this PCA? Why am I accessing PCA? The desktop, why am I accessing? What is the purpose?
So for application 1 and 2, so we
Very
can
good.
work upon it.
Very good. I don't like, you need a application like some of you require Eclipse, some of you require VirtualBox, some of you require for example, yeah, Google means SQL developer. That's it only. You don't require these data, right? So I have some data, PDFs or something is there. I don't require those things. Mainly you are asking for an application, not everything in the computer. First thing, right? So just you need application. So if I give application, that is enough. Not required complete desktop, right? We don't require complete desktop. We need an application like a user one required in this desktop, user one login. Okay, so application one, application two. Here only application one is required. Here it is application two is required. Okay, here it is required application one and application two is also required. So depends upon user. User need an application, not a complete desktop. So what I have done, instead of giving a desktop, I giving apps. Normally you're accessing entire desktop. Instead of that one, I told you can access only apps. Very simple. Go to control panel. Okay. So I will show at a user end only because I can't show in a server end. Okay. So we'll see it. Remote desktop protocol will be there here, where it is. But remote apps are there. Guarantee.
Remote app and desktop connection.
My eyes are not not properly working.
But
Starting, ending, remote,
work
remote.
on modification needed. Like,
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Okay, remote desktop and desktop connection both are showing here. You are not currently no connection available in this network. Okay, access remote app and desktop. So you look at here, email address or connection URL. So in my server, I configured these apps should access with the URL or a remote app kind of stuff. So I'll put a server's PCA URL here, https //PCA, HTTPS //PCA /something /application name, APX application.apx. I log in with my username. So user1@domain17.com. So then obviously it will connect here. So you verify user1 having these application access. Like one user required 10 applications. Another user only 2 applications. I'll give 2 applications only. Why I want to give complete desktop? Instead of complete desktop, I've been giving application. Instead of giving a complete applications, per user, what application is required, that application only I will give. Understand? Instead of giving complete desktop, I'm giving only applications. Instead of giving complete all applications, which user, which application required, I will specify in my server. So those applications only you can able to access. Now here you don't require to access complete desktop, just you have to access application only. Okay, application only. So in your desktop, you are accessing an application, not complete desktop. Okay, the plus point is like here what happened. The question is there, right? User 1 running application 1 using application, sorry, user 1 using application 1. But where application 1 is running? Originally, where application 1 is running? In PCA. User 3 running application 2 using application 2. Where actually it is running? PCA. Okay, so applications are running in a central PC. Applications are running central PC, accessing from remote PCs. Okay, so this kind of stuff we call it as a presentation virtualization. It is a very base point of desktop virtualization and application virtualization. This is the basic point of desktop virtualization, user experience or a user state virtualization, okay, and application virtualization. 3 things covers from this story. Okay, so very less, like even you search in a Google also you don't find this story. Okay. I struck it in there in a 2012, so that's why I know a little bit. But okay, this is the presentation virtualization. In a presentation virtualization, application runs in the server and access from remotely. It's a presentation virtualization. Okay, guys, understand up to here?
Yes, sir.
Story not finished. Sorry, story is not finished. Small part and small part will be there. I already told no, it is like a ABC, ABCD, ABCD, EF, ABCD, EF, GH. It is like a from starting to ending. It will be like that only. Okay, so small part here, guys. Last time we have done in a Windows 10 practical, right? In a Windows 10, we created a student 1. Okay, that is the administrator. Then we created a student 2. Then we create a student 3. So when I log in with the student 1, I created some data on the desktop. Then I log out and log in with the student 2. I want to see the desktop on the desktop data which is created by student 1. I can't able to see. Why?
Read and write permission is not given.
We given a read and write permission in a common data. Okay, that is good. You remember. But my question is, I created a data. This is my current user desktop data. I log out from this desktop, log in with other user. Other user can able to see my on desktop data, at least desktop data. He cannot see because of it's stored in the profile. Profile data. One user profile data cannot be seen by other user. The profile data stores here only. See, users, username, entire this data is belongs to this particular user only. If I have a other user, I log in with other user. For example, this current user is Ainish. Okay, so other user is Latif. I log in with Latif account. I can't see user's profile data. What is user profile data? These are the user profile data. 1 second. These are the user profile data. Contacts, desktop, documents, downloads, favorites, links, music, pictures. Currently it is OneDrive also showing here. Saved games, searches. These are all the by default user profile data. For example, you store a data in your documents. In these documents, you put a data. What are the data is here? Other user cannot access from the documents folder. Okay. Every user's data profile data is separate. Common data means this is common data. Any user can able to access this folder, this folder, this folder, or this folder. Any user can able to access these drives, but only the particular user can able to access their profile data like this. I put a data in the downloads. I downloaded a certain file, or maybe I put a certain pictures in my pictures. So other user cannot access your pictures. They can't see. Their pictures are different, your pictures are different, because the default location of these pictures are under see users like a home directory. This is the like a home directory. This is username under home directory. Whatever the data is here cannot be accessed by other user. Profile data. Okay, usually it is few days before I told. Normally we will forget. That's why I told again. Users profile data. So one user is login, other user profile data, right? So user 1 login here, user 2 login, user 3 login. They generated data. So their data is also stored in this computer in a different folder like this. User 1 C colon slash users slash user 1. Don't worry, I will put like this. Okay. So user and profile data stores like this. Same point. So you have a user to create some data. When he log in, automatically the profile path will be created, profile data will be created. For example, user to save some data in the documents, and user 3 or user 4 cannot access that one. Only it is stable. But all this data stores under inside this PCA only. Okay, so you don't need to store the data in your local PC. No need to run any application in your local PC. Only you have to use remote desktop or remote apps to connect a remote server and access that application, use the application, log out from the application. Whatever the data is created when you are login, data saves in the centralized PC only. Okay, so you know what it is called. That part is also called user state or user experience virtualization. User state virtualization, user experience virtualization is nothing but a simply say manage and migrate users profile data centrally. Okay, wherever the user is login, which user is login, manage the user profiles, migrate the user profile, virtualize the user profile. Virtualize the user profile. Where you log in, you see your profile data. But you log in another PC, again you see your profile data. Means your profile data is not stored in your local PC, it is storing in a central PC. So that is what user state virtualization, user experience virtualization. Okay, so two virtualizations are completed: presentation virtualization and user state virtualization. Okay, next. It is 420. Very good. So what we will do, I will complete this application virtualization and conclude with a desktop virtualization. What is the meaning of desktop virtualization will come here. Okay, so that is, otherwise you can see separately. Application virtualization, because of presentation virtualization and application virtualizations are little bit different, guys. So again, now we have to write so many things. Presentation virtualization is kind of like remote apps. Okay, not like remote apps, it is nothing but a remote apps only. Okay, remote apps, remote desktop concept only, it is like a remote apps. Okay, applications run in server means central PC, server means central PC. Okay, in our example PCA. Okay, access from remote PCs, thin clients or remote PCs. Applications run in central PC. Access from remote PCs. It is called a presentation virtualization. Okay, so users no need to install, maintain apps in the local PC. No need to install, no need to maintain, no need to run, no need to run also. Apps in the local PC. So that is first one. Users no need to install, maintain, run apps in the local PCs. Like remote apps, application run in central PC, access from remote PC, no need to install application in the local PCs. Okay, no need to store. Users data stores in central storage or PC. Central storage, you can store in a different location also, not required to store in a PCA. You can store in a different location also. So that is like this. Okay. Again, users profile data stores in central storage. Okay. Central storage. So anytime. Okay. Storage. It is easy to manage and migrate. Like if you want to transfer from one place to another place and migrate. User profile data stores in central storage, easy to manage and migrate. So access from anywhere kind of stuff. So this is called what is I said, user state or user experience virtualization. UE-V, user experience virtualization. User state virtualization. So the tools we use here to migrating tools. We use it called a USMT, user state migration tools. User state migration tools, USMT. Microsoft, you have to search in user state migration tools. Okay, you can migrate the user's profile data from one location to another location. There are a lot of things are guys. So user state migration tool. You need a abbreviation also I will give you. There is a scan and load, two things are there. There is a scan and load, two things are there. Scan means it will scan what are the user profile data. Okay, and we have to take the backup and locate into central location. We want to migrate it. If you want to migrate a user profile data from one location to another location like that. But whatever it is, wherever you log in, your user profile data is look nice. No need to store in local PC or central PC. Simply store in a central storage. Wherever you go, your local profile, it will shows, right? Simple guys, it is. You have a mobile phone. Nowadays we have a photos, right? So Google Photos. Where you put a Google email ID. Okay, I put my laptop or desktop or maybe tablet, phone, mobile phone. I can see all Google Photos, right? It's a data, it's stored in somewhere, but we are accessing from different devices, different places, anywhere, anytime. Okay, so this is presentation virtualization. This is user state virtualization. This is about a remote desktop. I want to write. About a remote apps and remote desktop, but I have not written anything here. Okay, in a Microsoft. So first of all, you have to write. Okay. User required to access application in a central PC or a system or a computer. Okay, whatever the word you use it. So access with protocols. With the protocols. Access through network using protocols. What are the protocols we use it? SSH, telnet, RDP, VNC, and stuff. Or login. So like that, few other things also there. Next, Windows, RDP, Windows use RDP, means remote desktop protocol. Okay, so Windows use remote desktop protocol. Last one, I want to put one more thing. Yeah, what is the condition here? It is Microsoft license or user type, means one user, one license, one desktop, it's one PC, one desktop or one PC, one license, actually one license, one user, one desktop and desktop, directly or remotely. Meaning is only one user can access at a time either directly or remotely. Only one user. So if more number of users want to access same PC, need license bundle. Okay, so that is multiple users can able to access control by remote desktop server or citrix. Also we can use citrix remote desktop service also there. Remote desktop server or service, what are the words? You can search in a Google, you will find what it is. Okay, so this is part. Next, users required to access application in control PC, not required to access whole desktop, not required to access whole desktop. So give applications to users using users access applications using remote apps. So these are the kind of stuff. These are the presentation virtualization. Yes. So thin client is also I told to reduce the consumption. So point is another point is desktop virtualization and application virtualization. So this another part is there. Okay. Whether continue or not continue, I don't understand. So I will continue, guys. So then I will give you full day break. Okay. So before continue, not discontinue. It has become very big. Yeah, we'll stop here. Take a 10 minutes break and we'll back. Okay.